Okay, guys, welcome to another Nothing Held Back podcast and Google Hangout today. So the reason for this particular podcast is because we are being sponsored. We have a new sponsor. That sponsor is called NeuroAlert, and you can find NeuroAlert by going to Amazon.com and simply typing in NeuroAlert. NeuroAlert, actually it's one word, but I believe in Amazon you can type it in as two or as one. Anyway, they are our sponsor. They are a brain supplement. I have reviewed the ingredients in that product and absolutely love it. And the interesting thing is because that they are our sponsor, it sparked an idea that I wanted to bring to you today, and that is tips for improving your brain health. So what I did is I made a list of tips that I'm going to go over with you right now. Feel free to implement any or all of these into your life and experience the benefits of improved cognitive function, which is absolutely essential in my mind anyway, and I hope in yours too. Well, at least you'll remember all of this if you take advantage of what I'm about to tell you, because it does give you improved cognitive and memory functions. So the first thing that I want to talk about is water, hydration. Drink 2 glasses of water first thing in the morning. You are dehydrated when you first wake up. Everyone is, and very few people take care of that first thing in the morning. So I recommend that you do that. That will hydrate you, and hydration is a key to brain optimization. So that is the first thing that I want you to do. After you drink those 2 glasses of water, I want you to do something that may be considered woo by many, but I want you to give it a valiant effort, a great shot, and just try it. And that's to meditate. You know, most people will tell you to go meditate for 30 minutes, an hour, become, some kind of guru sitting up in the, Himalayas or something, or legs crossed, fingers touching, whatever craziness that goes along with that. That's not the kind of meditation I'm talking about. I'm talking about the meditation that you simply do for about 10 minutes. It could be nothing more than just laying in bed. Probably in an upright position is probably best. Legs crossed, uncrossed, I don't really care. The idea is to simply relax your mind and take very deep breaths. Very deep breaths. You want to inhale through your nose and exhale through your mouth. You want to do that for about 10 minutes. It's not a lot of effort. And next to stretching, it's probably the best thing that you can do first thing in the morning outside of drinking the 2 glasses of water, which we already talked about. After that, I want you to drink butter coffee. Some people know this as bulletproof coffee. If you're not a coffee drinker, simply get decaffeinated coffee. It's all the same. Well, it's not all the same with the caffeinated, bulletproof / butter coffee. You're actually going to get a buzz that's unparalleled. And because of the oils that's in that coffee, and I'll give you my recipe here in just one second, you will be flying through the roof, and it's an awesome feeling if you like that kind of buzz. So my recipe is very simple. I make 2 cups, so usually about 16 ounces of coffee. However, whatever type of coffee is, if it's organic, it's fine. You don't have to use any kind of special brand, in my opinion. I use 2 tablespoons of grass-fed butter, organic butter. Locally, we don't have anything like Kerrygold butter, so I do look for an organic, non-salted, grass-fed butter. Very, very simple to find in every grocery store. 1 tablespoon of MCT oil, and then I also infuse it with ionic vitamins and minerals. I use stevia as a sweetener, and unlike most people that either don't require a sweetener, I absolutely think that the taste of butter coffee without a sweetener in it is next to disgusting. That's my own personal opinion, and I use up to 35 drops of stevia, so that's a lot, and it tastes great at that point in time. Sometimes I will add a teaspoon of vanilla bean extract as well, or not vanilla bean extract, just ground vanilla bean. Sorry, let me say that. And then I'll put that into a blender, 16 ounces of water. I will then blend it for 15 seconds on high. I use a Blendtec blender. It comes out frothy and absolutely delicious with the stevia in it. Okay, so now that you have your butter coffee, another thing that I want you to just keep in mind throughout the day is to consume good oils, mainly fish oils if at all possible. Fish oil contains essential fatty compounds such as omega-3, DHA, and EPA. They play a critical role in brain development as well as improving memory, learning ability, and mental capacity. Avoid rancid fats, such as hydrogenated fats and trans fatty acids. That should go without saying, but those new to this podcast or Hangout may not realize that our whole theme is total health optimization, biohacking, whatnot, with this particular one being focused on brain health. So just avoid it. There is no reason to take in rancid fats. It's just your body is a machine. Why treat it poorly? There's just no reason why. Okay, next, eat small protein-rich foods throughout the day. Minimize starchy carbs. Consume a supplementary vitamin and mineral, ionized, if possible. You can just go to Amazon and type in ionized vitamins and minerals, and you'll find them with each meal. And I also include an antioxidant and enzymes with each meal too. So if you're not eating any berries, especially dark berries, blueberries, things like that, then I think supplementing with an antioxidant is a good move. And of course, I am a huge fan of hyperdosing enzymes. So use your favorite enzymes, whatever blend. There's 1,000,001 different enzyme combinations and blends. There is no perfect one, in my opinion. I have my own preference, and I think that hyperdosing enzymes with every meal, especially the less nutrient-dense meals, absolutely you want to do that. And by hyperdosing for myself, I'll take up to 20 pills. My family, I recommend that they take about 5. So totally up to you. Test your body, test yourself, see how you react well. If you experience just any type of bad reactions from hyperdosing, then just back off. Okay, let's keep going down my list. Engage your mind in a good book. And I'm not talking about, don't substitute this for videos, don't substitute this for movies, but engage in a good book, a good fantasy book. Let your mind wander. A lot of people, when I say this, there's well, I got a business book I need to read. Business books are great, but they don't allow your mind to, they do allow your mind to expand, but they don't allow your mind to just wander into virtual realities and then create things in your mind's eye. This may be a little controversial to some, but I am a huge fan of simply reading a fantasy book occasionally, maybe a couple pages a day, maybe a book a week, but it just allows your mind to expand, and the more that you use your mind, the more that your mind's going to optimize. Next on my list is avoid drugs and alcohol. Look, here's the reality. We're in a fast-paced society. A lot of us are under tremendous amounts of stress, and sometimes having a couple drinks simply alleviates a lot of that stress and helps you relax and actually calms your mind down. I get that. You know what? And I am not perfect by any stretch of the imagination, and I too enjoy a couple drinks occasionally. Not every day, not every week even, but occasionally. And so when I say avoid drugs and alcohol, I'm not saying if it's not necessarily right for you to be to the extreme, you don't have to be to the extreme. But if you can, and if it's within, just your capabilities, which I believe it is for everybody, avoid it. There's really, and when I say drugs, I'm talking about harmful drugs. Of course, if you're on blood pressure medicine or anything like that, don't stop taking that because I said this. I even sometimes take a Rastam. So, those are nootropics, and those are drugs, and those are for brain optimization as well. I wouldn't recommend anybody else doing that. You have to do what's right for you, but by all means, avoid things like cocaine. And really, and there can be a case to be made for the mind optimization of effects of hallucinogenics such as ayahuasca, even LSD, and of course, marijuana. So I'm not, I'm not telling you to stay away from everything if that's not right for you, but I am saying that the more harmful drugs that have absolutely no benefits whatsoever, like cocaine, crack, meth, things like that, stay away from it. Alcohol, moderation, or eliminate it if possible. Next on my list is exercise. Yes, exercise. Get off your ass and do something. You know what? We are meant to be moving. We are meant to be, our blood is meant to be just flow. I mean, of course, it's always flowing, but you know what? If you're not optimal, if your health's not optimal, your brain's not going to be optimal. So by all means, even if it's a 20-minute walk a day, 5 days a week. Myself, I love going to the gym. I love to sweat. I love to get my body moving. It makes me feel amazing. By all means, try it. It's going to hurt. It's going to suck for a few days, man. That's just the way it is. But once you get addicted to it, it becomes nothing short of miraculous. So by all means, do it. Next on my list, find a passion and thrive on it. You know what? Most people go to their job that they absolutely hate every day. They don't engage their mind in anything. They don't have good eating practices, much less have a passion, a hobby, a thrill that they look forward to, that they engage in mentally throughout the day and get their mind working on it and solving problems related to that. Find a passion, and that passion could be your family. That's for me. My passion is my family. I thrive in taking my kids to the park. I thrive in doing nice things for my wife. I thrive in helping others. That's my passion. Find your passion. Do something with your passion. Okay, now I'm going to get into a couple things that may be considered controversial, but I am an absolute believer in it because I do it myself, and that's this podcast is all about. It's nothing held back, so that's what I'm talking about. Neurofeedback, specifically neurooptimal neurofeedback. If you are not familiar with this, it is a mind workout on steroids. I also use another machine called the P-Roshi. Actually, the P-Roshi 2. It's the second version of the P-Roshi, and it is phenomenal as well. What can you expect from a neurooptimal? Total mind optimization. The defrag for the mind. It calms your mind down. It optimizes it. If you have a provider in your area, look it up and go get it done. Heck, if you're in the Houston area, contact me. I even became certified in it, even though I don't do it for a living or even service other people. I do it as part of my mastermind. But I love to just see people's reactions when after a neurooptimal session, and just to monitor people's brainwaves. Call me goofy, I get it, but I thrive on that stuff and I love it. Next is cranial stimulation. There is a device, and you can Google this. It's called the Fisher-Wallace stimulator. Fisher-Wallace stimulators. Being from Texas, I often find myself mumbling or using my accent a little more than maybe I should. But it's a cranial stimulator. Fisher-Wallace is great for overactive minds that do need to calm down, and it does help if you do this just before meditation if you have an overactive mind. Big fan of it. Now I'm going to throw one at you that may be quite obvious, but nobody thinks about. If you want to optimize your mind, you have got to get this next one right, and that's sleep. By all means, you have got to sleep. And I'm not talking about just taking little cat naps, or like a lot of people fall asleep at 3 o'clock in the morning and then wake up at 6 and try to do it all over again and stimulate their minds and bodies throughout the entire day with massive amounts of caffeine or energy drinks. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about getting 45 minutes to 1 hour of pure REM sleep, and that usually is going to equate to anywhere from 6 to 8, maybe even 9 hours for some people of true sleep. Now, how do you know? How do you know if you're getting good sleep? Well, do you feel refreshed in the morning? Are you able to wake up and just get out of bed without having any issues? Do you get out of bed and you're just groggy and you're like, oh, I don't want to get up today. I just want to stay in bed for another hour. If you have that feeling, that's a litmus test. If you have that feeling, there's a great chance that you're not sleeping well. But on the other hand, if the sun starts to come up and it naturally wakes you up with the light coming through the window and you're like, man, I feel absolutely phenomenal. I'm happy. I feel good. I want to get up and do something. That, my friends, is good sleep. And that's a great test. Now, if you want to go further like I do, you can use devices such as Zeo machines or the countless devices for the iOS. There's even a new one called Beddit, which I'm testing. That's Veddit, and that's Beddit. Again, these are ways to simply measure your amount of sleep. Are they completely accurate? I don't think so. And at times, like especially with the Zeo, man, it's a thing that wraps around your head at night. It can become uncomfortable and annoying at times. So, in my opinion, that can actually disrupt sleep. So, if you just want to avoid any of that, how do you feel when you wake up in the morning? Do you feel great? Well, if you felt great, you got enough sleep. So, boom, there you go. And last but not least, a supplement with a supplement that has ginkgo biloba in it. NeuroAlert, our sponsors for today's show, has that in it. So I recommend just simply testing out NeuroAlert for yourself. Go to Amazon.com, type in NeuroAlert. Now, I will say one thing about NeuroAlert, and the sponsors may not be real happy with me saying this, but I've got to be honest with you. I believe that their dosage is a little bit low, and that's okay. I am also a believer in total health optimization and testing to the point of perfect efficacy for me and my body type. Now, you and your body type, their recommended dosage may give you all of the memory enhancements and concentration that you want, and that's good. For me, I have to up the dose to 2 pills a day, and I'm about to test 3 on myself. I think 3 is taken a little high, but I'm okay with that. I'm a biohacker. I'm a tester. I do this to myself. But 2 right now, it gives me a noticeable bump. And yes, they just so you know, they are sponsors, and they did send me a few bottles to test. So I have been testing it, and I'm a believer in it. I like it. They have left out some of the ingredients that can be harmful, but have yet also been proven to be effective. But all of the ingredients in there right now are highly effective and safe for everybody. So there's no controversial ingredients in it whatsoever. I do think it's dosed a little low just for myself. So if you decide to test NeuroAlert for yourself, just make sure that you maybe bump up the dosage 1 or 2 days a week. I take it 5 to 6 days a week. I always take a day off from any brain supplement. Doesn't matter the brand that I'm taking. I believe it's taking at least 1 to 2 days off a week. And then, of course, finding the appropriate dosage for you. Guys, with that being said, this is another Nothing Held Back podcast / hangout. I hope you take away some nuggets of gold from this and actually implement this in your life today. If you have any questions, by all means, this will be posted on the nothingheldback.com blog. By all means, post your comments, ask me questions, and let's get you some clarification and get some answers taken care of. And here's another little thing: support my sponsors, because we're just now starting to get them. So support my sponsors, support NeuroAlert, and spread the word about Nothing Held Back. This podcast doesn't grow without you, and I'm very grateful for you. And with that being said, I'll talk to you soon.